Welcome back, guys. If you are just joining us, this is INX Prime Live. Remember, we are on your screens every single Monday to Friday between the hours of 6 p.m. and 8 p.m. Now, we're delighted to welcome Leema to the show today to discuss a very important company called RoboThink. Now, it is an innovative STEM, coding, robotics, and engineering program for kids in particular. At RoboThink, children can dive into exciting themed STEM programs that help them build core skills for the future. Now, with kid-friendly products and an emphasis on ease of use in that sense, RoboThink provides a hands-on, practical approach to STEM education, and I think it is something that we definitely need in the country. We have Leema joining us in studio today. Thank you so much for joining us, and welcome to INX Prime Live.
Thank you very much, and thank you for giving us this platform.
No, it's only a pleasure, sir, and we're definitely looking forward to this conversation. I know that a lot of our audience believes that, robotics, coding, all of this should be included in the school syllabus, but we'll get onto that. Before we get onto any of that, I just want to understand, what is RoboThink? How would you define RoboThink in particular, and what are some of the primary goals for kids when it comes to RoboThink?
Okay, so RoboThink is a STEM education program or company that teaches curriculum-based program for kids, for young people. We work with schools, and we have our own centers that we run programs on the afternoon and on Saturday. And basically, we provide training for children in the area of coding and in the area of robotics. And recently, we were one of the first groups to now also include artificial intelligence for kids.
Brilliant. That's really a game changer. I mean, I was just going to ask you, actually, because, you get a lot of STEM projects and programs in South Africa. We've known them for many, many years. And I wanted to know what differentiates you from them. But, I mean, having AI and artificial intelligence is definitely a game changer. Is there anything else that you'd say sets you guys apart?
Okay, so basically, one of the unique things with our product is that our curriculum is very intense. We've got a very broad, big curriculum. We work with kids from grade R to grade 9. Well, for townships and rural areas, we go up to grade 12 because they don't have much exposure. And we've got our own training kit, which we have here, which we use to train kids to build robots like this one. And the way our building blocks, we call them cells, and they are manufactured in-house, and they were developed by education specialists with engineers. And so they were developed specifically with kids in mind and with education in mind. And so our program, we call it edutainment. As we build this robot, we also entertain kids so that they find it fun and very good to do and enjoy it. But at the same time, they are learning very critical 21st century skills.
I mean, just looking at it right now, it gives you that feel-good factor because you associate it a lot with something like, for example, Legos or whatever it might be. But I just want to touch on, looking at where the world is going now, and we have to have foresight when it comes to that, right? If you're looking at some of the most wealthiest companies or the most, highest income or highest revenue companies, they're currently sitting in the space of AI. They're sitting in, coding, app development companies. These are the ones that are doing a lot better than, let's say, lawyers, doctors in the country, right? Because there's also an overpopulation of that. Do you think that RoboThink is one of the solutions or the pathways to be able to create future careers or future solutions for young people in that space?
No, most definitely. What we're doing, the robotics and coding skills and AI for kids are very important because we teach kids very critical skills which are not only necessary for your engineering and IT careers, but they can be used across careers. And these are skills like problem solving, logical thinking, creativity, thinking out of the box, working in a group. So those are the skills that when they come into our classes of coding and robotics, they develop. And whether they end up being psychologists or doctors or farmers, they will still need problem-solving skills. They will still need logical thinking. they will still need the technology that they learn in terms of coding, in terms of robotics. Now farmers, they use, they use robots to farm.
Yeah.
You understand? Doctors now use robots to do operations. So this is the skills that they can use across any career that they might decide to have.
No, I think it is a very, very exciting time in that sense. We are getting comments and questions coming in, and I know that you mentioned a little bit of it, but I think it's nice for you to elaborate a little bit further. We do have, Nkosi was asking, what are some of the programs as well as some of the courses that RoboThink has in particular, and if you can cover some of the short-term and long-term courses that you have.
Okay, so some of the main program we have is what we call our robotics programs, which are curriculum based. These we do with schools. Schools can approach us. We work with schools. Some schools we help them to introduce robotics as part of the curriculum. Some of the schools prefer it as an after school program.
Yeah.
We do that. Secondly, we've got our own centers that we run on Saturday. And in Gauteng, we've got quite a number of venues. And when they go to our website, they can get that. And then, besides the curriculum-based programs, we've got short programs. Now, you will have holiday programs. We call them holiday camps. So holiday programs, they are 5 days program. And the holiday programs will differ from your curriculum-based in a sense that your curriculum-based will do step-by-step, and I'll demonstrate a bit with this robot. So we've got 8 levels where from level 1 to level 8, they develop their skills. But when we come to your workshops and your holiday programs, those are theme-based. For instance, you'll have a camp on the theme planet Mars, okay? Which means for the 5 days, we'll be looking at what happens in planet Mars. What do astronauts do when they go to planet Mars? And then get kids to build the robots that astronauts use in planet Mars. So that's one of our programs. And then we'll have workshops. And then we also have very exciting things like we also do host robotics themed birthdays. Parents can talk to us and say, my kid has a birthday, but instead of them just running around, I just want a birthday for them to build robots. And those birthdays, they will follow a certain theme. And we've got a number of exciting themes that parents can have birthdays for robotics.
That's brilliant. And I mean, I'm just looking at more of the comments and questions coming, and I'm excited to see how this thing works. We have Oscar as well. He was just saying, more of a comment than anything. He was saying that, he was actually planning on doing something in the tech space at a technical college or even maybe going to UCT or WITS. But he says he actually wants to go and invest in RoboThink in that sense to gain the knowledge that he wants, which is very, very exciting. I think another question was that, a lot of people think that this is a very pricey course. What are some of the prices involved with RoboThink?
Okay, so typically with, let's say, our centers where we run programs on Saturdays, so kids have to do robotics once a week for 1 hour, okay? So our kids will do robotics for 1 hour, 4 times a month. So for that 4 times 1 hour, it will be about 600 rands. And that, if you look at a lot of what other extramurals that kids pay, whether for playing soccer or music, or they pay far much more higher. So it's quite a competitive price. Yeah. So that would be for our Saturday programs, and then our workshops and camps would be different. But basically is that for them to sign for the Saturday program.
Look, I'm very excited. I want us to do a bit of a little test here. Okay.
So this robot, and remember when we do robotics, we are really talking about STEM.
Yes.
Okay. Science, technology, and engineering. And basically, this robot really, it's a robot where we are teaching kids about gear ratio.
Okay.
Okay. So these gray parts here are all your gears. Okay. So if you run this thing, okay, can you see the gears running?
Yes.
So basically, all these gears are running because of this one particular small gear here, which is connected to the power, which we'll call it the power gear. And because when this gear gets power here and starts circling, and then it affects everything else. And then we practically will say to students, so we call it gear ratio because, for instance, this small gear at the bottom here, it's got about 12 teeth, okay? And then the gear here, the big gear, has got about 36 teeth. So it ask them, what is the ratio between these two? So it's 12 is to 36, which is 1 is to 3, which is what they do in mathematics. What does it really mean? 1 is to 3. It really means that the bigger gear here has got 3 times more power than the smaller gear. But what it means in engineering, for instance, we can build this robot again. Now, instead of having the smaller gear at the bottom, you now have a bigger gear at the bottom. And then we ask the kids, what do you think, will this now move faster or slower? And now they need to begin to think about the issue of gear ratio. If this gear, which is 3 times bigger, has got 3 times more power than this one, is at the bottom, will it make our robot move faster or slower? And then kids have to process that and begin to, and it talks to their maths, it talks to, and ratios are also your inverse of your fractions.
I love this. Look, I think it's absolutely genius, and we definitely need more of this. We're getting a lot of comments and questions coming in. Before we let you go, just within 1 second, how do people enroll? How do they get in contact with you? How do they get in touch with you?
So people can enroll by going to our website, which is www.robothink.co.za, and then they will see the venues where we are. And also, if there are schools that are interested for us to work with them, they can send us a WhatsApp message. We'll come and do a free presentation, and then work out a product that's suitable for their needs.
That's brilliant, Leema. Thank you again for coming through. It was an incredible interview. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys. That is Leema Mofokeng, who is actually the marketing director of RoboThink. And remember, they play such an important role when it comes to teaching our young people robotics, as well as STEM programs and coding as well, to make sure that we get our kids to be on a level where they're universally incredible and able to take on any new job opportunity or even create their own in that sense. Now, on that note, we are going to take a quick ad break. We'll come right back.